all we say to America is be true to what you said on paper. If I lived in China or even Russia or any totalitarian country, maybe I could understand some of these illegal injunctions. Maybe I could understand the denial of certain basic First Amendment privileges because they haven't committed themselves to that over there. But somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly. Somewhere I read of the freedom of speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right. And so just as I say we aren't going to let any dogs or water hoses turn us around, we aren't going to let any injunction turn us around. Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now because I've been to the mountaintop. I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. I just need to check the audio, see if we are good on the audio. We are good on the audio. All right. We are in the building. My name is Umoya.
And I am Kim with Emend.
And I am Darlene with Emend.
All
I am
right.
so glad to be back. It's been a while for me, dear family. Kim, Umora, can you remember the last time I joined you, good people?
I can't remember the last time I've been here. I'm supposed to remember when you've been here.
Okay, I'm
It
glad
has
to
been a
be here,
while.
though.
Yes.
New year.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I do appreciate you too on this wonderful watch night. And there's a lot of stuff going on tonight. So thanks everybody for joining. We appreciate everybody.
All right. And just as usual, with some quick housekeeping, if you have not watched it, Reparations Now, the documentary is on Tubi TV, also at reparationsnowdoc.com for some behind the scenes footage. Looking for ways to help ETM in the upcoming year, 2025. The merch store, etmmedia.com. You can get all your reparations gear. Here it is in action. There's me and Miss Darlene there.
Aww.
Yes. This picture brings back memories. This was as we were waiting for, the reparations bills, SB 1403 and SB 1331, to be called to the assembly floor. Unfortunately, that did not happen. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But ways to show your support for reparations: ETM merch store, Reparations Now. There's your Moya. Not sure which festival we were out, but we be outside.
And he has cut the check on Yes.
Reparations now and cut the
The
check.
check.
Let it be
I don't know
known.
where we were.
I think this is.
It's not the
It
black
might
cowboy.
be
No,
black. It might be
cowboy.
Black Cowboys.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Was
so.
it the Black
Yeah.
Cowboys?
It looks like it could be
Yeah.
either that or Juneteenth, something like that.
Yeah, we just be out. That's all. I
Be
know.
Out.
outside. Also, we have cut the CJ, cut the check gear. That you can go to etnmedia.com merch store and you can show your support for CJ, Coalition for a Just and Equitable California, the leading reparations organization in California, maybe the nation. Also, a way to support. You've probably done all your holiday shopping. Hope that you went and used the Amazon affiliate link for ETM Media every time you purchase on Amazon in order to, in addition to, put money in Bezos' pocket, you can help ETM out too. So hit that link before you do all your Amazon shopping.
And always, as we mentioned in 2024, but now going into 2025, not only the bills that did not make it to the floor, but hopefully will be introduced again, and also new recurring reparation bills for descendants of U.S. chattel slavery. We need, in California, we need 41 members of the Assembly, 21 members of the Senate, and one governor to sign those bills. Let's make it happen in 2025.
Cut that check.
2025.
Cut
Yeah.
Cut
that
the check.
Cut the check.
Reparations now.
Yeah. Make it happen.
And as always, we will be bringing you the latest and greatest updates related to reparations in 2025. So stay tuned as we continue on the road to reparations.
Definitely do not want to miss that. I guess I'm taking this. I guess I am. American Freedmen Day. Just want to remind everybody that March 3rd is American Freedmen Day. This will establish a national holiday and to recognize those enslaved Americans that built the United States for free, to recognize the establishment of the Freedmen's Bureau when it was originally established in 1865. And other names could include Freed People's Day or Freedmen or Freed Women Day. So just want to remind everybody that this year we will be, I think last year we celebrated it too, but yes, we'll be celebrating it again March 3rd.
As we bring the agency bill back.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. So hopefully in the beginning of this upcoming 2025, we'll be having a great conversation with a good brother, Chad Brown. He's also of the Coalition for Just and Equitable California and LEAP down there in Los Angeles. And hopefully we can also get Sam Brown as well. He was the original author of what eventually became known as Proposition 6 to end slavery here in California. So hopefully we can get that one started. And that title is going to be The Black Men Misogyny Agenda. Is there an agenda out there? So we're going to be discussing that. So be on the lookout for that one for sure. As well as the future of Social Security. If I believe Social Security is going to run out in 2037, I think it is. I don't know, Darlene. I don't know if you have heard or anything.
No, I was a little shocked to see that. And you know what? And I really should say I'm remiss because I do get all my Social Security information through my email, but ask me, do I click on it? No. No, I don't. So I really, when I saw this, I was like kind of stunned for a minute. What are you talking about? There is tons of us, all Americans, but certainly freemen, descendants who rely on Social Security. We do. And it's nothing to play with.
Not at all. So we're going to do a deep dive into that. Don't know
And not to
anything.
mention that it's money that you've paid into the system. So I don't know how they're not having your money when it's time to pay out.
Because they certainly are using it for other things to fund wars and things like that. And if I'm just going to say this, you're right, Kim. It's money that you paid into. Because
Mhm.
when I was fighting my disability before I transferred over to Social Security, that was one of my biggest arguments. Wait a minute, this is my money. I paid into it. Darlene Crumity, not Kim Mins. This is my money.
Right.
So
So
what's
I
the
mean,
problem here?
exactly.
Exactly. My money, my account.
So yeah, I'll be interested to see
Yeah.
what the plan is
Hmm.
moving forward with
And what
this.
year did you say you more your 2036?
Yeah, 2030. I think it's 2036, 37, something like that. So the Congress has to do some things on their end, but
That's
we're
only
gonna.
11 years.
Yeah, right
Tell me
around the
about it.
corner.
Mm.
So we're gonna take a deep dive into that.
Thank you.
Yes. Speaking of years, as we wrap up the end of this year, uh CJEC was named Persons of the Year. 2023, you say? 2023 for the work we did in 2023. So our accolades were for 2024, and that is coming to an end, but we don't plan to stop doing the work that we do. So the Persons of the Year this year, next year, last year, every year.
Shout out to CJEC in the building.
Yes,
Shout
Yes,
out.
congratulations.
Congratulations.
absolutely.
All right, so we got to give it Ashe. Some people had transitioned in 2024. So let's go through this list. If you want to, by yourself, in tradition, we usually say, say their names or Ashe. If you guys want to say that after we say their names, you can. If not, that's totally up to you. But I'm going to go through this list. So here we go. Quincy Jones, Cissy Houston, James Earl Jones, Nikki Giovanni, John Amos, Bill Cobbs, Willie Mays, O.J. Simpson, Louis Gossett Jr., Carl Weathers, Naomi Ruth Barber King, Georgia Rose Pete West, Greg Gumbel, Ricky Nelson Henley Henderson, Tariano Adaril Tito Jackson, Dexter Scott King, Arthur Art James Evans, Alpha Anderson, and Marion Louise Robinson. May you rest in power.
Ashe.
Ashe. May you rest in peace.
Ashe.
Ashe to the
Thank you,
ancestors.
Hmm.
All right, so I guess let's get into the news. For those that don't know, the 39th president of the United States, Jimmy Carter, has passed away. But something that I didn't know that his father was a white racist supremacist. But a black farmhand gave him faith and purpose. His father, Earl, was a white racist supremacist. His mother, Lillian, was a nurse who took care of black sharecroppers for free and the only person in the county with anything nice to say about Abraham Lincoln. He was raised mostly by a black farmhand named Rachel Clark, who gave him a love of nature and God. James Earl Carter Jr. was an American politician who served from 1977 to 1981 as the 39th President of the United States, a member of the Democratic Party. Carter served from 1963 to 1967 in the Georgia State Senate and from 1971 to 1975 as the 76th governor of Georgia. I believe he lived to the wonderful age of 100. So may he rest in peace as well.
Do you know what made his daddy racist?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I don't know. Maybe the country he lives in. I don't know.
That might be it. All right. Watch night. So this is watch night for those that don't know, also known as Freedom's Eve. On the night of December 31st, 1862, enslaved and free African Americans gathered, many in secret, to ring in the new year and await news that the Emancipation Proclamation had taken effect. Just a few months earlier, on September 22nd, 1862, President Abraham Lincoln issued the executive order that declared enslaved people in the rebelling Confederate States legally free. However, the decree would not take effect until the clock struck midnight at the start of the new year. The occasion, known as Watch Night or Freedom's Eve, marks when African Americans across the country watched and waited for the news of freedom. Today, Watch Night is an annual New Year's Eve tradition that includes the memory of slavery and freedom, reflections on faith, and celebrations of community and strength. Quote, "It is a day for poetry and song, a new song. These cloudless skies, this balmy air, this brilliant sunshine are in harmony with the glorious morning of liberty about to dawn upon us." That was the great ancestor Frederick Douglass, December 31st, 1862.
Joy cometh in the morning.
Joy cometh in the morning.
Now you're being funny.
Joy cometh in the morning. I've heard it all. All
Yes.
right, going into 2025. All right, some international news. We usually do start out with some international stuff here on In the News, WZ. Senegal announces closure of all foreign military bases as it cuts ties to ex-colonial power France. Senegal has announced the closure of all foreign military bases without setting a timeline for the exit of foreign troops. Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko made the announcement Friday during a general policy statement to the National Assembly. The President of the Republic has decided to close all foreign military bases in the very near future, Sonko said. President Bassirou Diomaye Faye last month expressed his desire to close the French bases in Senegal. Senegal is an independent country. It is a foreign country, and sovereignty does not accommodate the presence of foreign military bases, the head of state said in a rare media interview. This decision to close bases appears to be aimed primarily at France, a former colonial, or is it colonial? Yeah, it's
Colonial.
I'm talking about colonial. Colonial.
Those two words are easily mistaken, though.
Right. Colonial power in much of Africa. France has faced optimism from some African leaders over an alleged demeaning and heavy-handed approach to the continent. Really? Interjection. France has already left Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger in the process of exiting Chad after decades of military cooperation started this month. Senegal's new government, which has been in power for less than a year, has taken a hardline stance on the presence of French troops as part of a larger regional backlash against what many see as the legacy of an oppressive colonial empire. I guess Senegal's like,
no rest for the weary.
Bye, Felicia. All right. Let's go to the next one. Thank you. At least 62 dead, 2 crew rescued in fiery South Korea airliner crash. There is some updates. As of 12/29, there's been 179. There might be more. I don't know, but that's the last update that I have. All right. The crash occurred as Jeju Air Flight 762216, carrying 175 passengers and 6 crew on a flight from the Thai capital, Bangkok, was landing shortly after 9 a.m. at the airport in the south of the country, South Korea's transport ministry said. The ministry did not confirm the reports of casualties. At least 58 bodies have been recovered, but that number is not final, another fire official told Reuters. 2 people were found alive, and rescue operations were underway. One fire official said Yonhap News Agency said 3 people had been rescued. Authorities were working to rescue people in the tail section. An airport official told Reuters shortly after the crash.
And so, Moria, they're saying that the update went from 62 to 179?
That is correct.
Wow.
I mean, this is like the third crash that I've seen. I mean, I don't know the locations. I hear it has something to do with Boeing Airlines. Yeah. I mean, have you guys been seeing the other crashes?
No.
Well, we're going to get into another one in the next
Okay, another one.
Mm. Mm.
Russia air defense system downed Azerbaijan plane, sources say. Russian air defenses allegedly downed an Azerbaijan Airlines plane that crashed in Kazakhstan, killing 38 people. Four sources with knowledge of the preliminary findings of Azerbaijan's investigation into the disaster told Reuters on Thursday. Flight J28243 crashed on Wednesday in a ball of fire near the city of Aktau in Kazakhstan, after diverting from an area of southern Russia where Moscow has repeatedly used air defense systems against Ukrainian drone strikes. Three other sources confirmed that the Azeri investigation had come to the same preliminary conclusion. Russia's defense military did not respond to a request for comment. Allegedly, there were 29 survivors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think like what, a couple years ago there was something to do with, I don't know if y'all heard that about Ethiopia, was it? There was like a big airplane crash. I don't know if it was a year, 2 years ago or something like that. I think some Boeing had something to do with that too. So
Yeah, I thought I saw another one too, but I wouldn't be able to tell you where it was. But I saw the actual video, and they like took a nosedive, and the story was like the pilots died, but like overwhelmingly the passengers survived. I mean, like I said, it looked like they just took a straight nosedive. That wasn't too long ago, and then I started seeing these other two. So be careful out there in your travels.
Absolutely. Some more international news. A politician fired after explicit video meant for her husband circulates. What?
Gotta be careful when you push send.
That's hilarious. Absolutely. A Fijian MP has sensationally been fired after an explicit video of her circulated online. MP Linda, I'm about to botch this one up, Tabuya, said the private video was meant for her husband. It called its circulation on social media a criminal invasion of privacy. Fiji's Prime Minister Sitiveni Rabuka announced his decision to sack Miss Tabuya as Minister for Women, Children, and Social Protection on Facebook, 2 days after local Fijian media first reported on the video. Just quick interjection. I wish they wouldn't have used the word sack. Maybe terminated would have been sack.
She might have been in the sack.
Right.
Yes.
Quote, I have decided to exercise the power conferred upon me to dismiss her as a minister with immediate effect. He said she will remain as a member of parliament. Ms. Tabia, meanwhile, told local media earlier this week there is nothing scandalous or illegal or immoral about sharing private videos and images between two consenting adults who are in a relationship. In this case, me and my husband. So,
I mean,
up to her.
I agree, but who got this video and leaked it though? How was it leaked? Yeah, so
Hey, who was all up in her business?
I mean, business, right? I mean, I don't know. Have a separate phone for that. That's
that would be kind of smart.
Yeah.
Get your burner.
Yeah.
Get your burner.
Yeah, especially in the public eye. I mean, anything. People just looking for stuff.
That's all facts. Major incident. China-backed hackers breached U.S. Treasury workstations. The U.S. Treasury Department notified lawmakers on Monday that a China state-sponsored actor infiltrated Treasury workstations in what officials are describing as a major incident. quote unquote. In a letter reviewed by CNN, a Treasury official said it was informed by a third-party software service provider on December 8th that a threat actor used a stolen key to remotely access certain Treasury workstations and unclassified documents. Based on available indicators, the incident has been attributed to a Chinese state-sponsored Advanced Persistent Threat (APT) actor. Aditi Hardikar, Assistant Secretary for Management at the U.S. Treasury, wrote in a letter. A Treasury spokesperson said in a statement to CNN that the compromised service has been taken offline and officials are working with law enforcement and the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA. Quote, there is no evidence indicating the threat actor has continued access to Treasury systems or information. The Treasury spokesperson said Treasury officials plan to hold a classified briefing about the breach next week with staffers from the House Financial Services Committee. A senior committee staffer told CNN the exact timing of the briefing has not been scheduled yet. They messing with the money. This is a sad story.
I mean, oh my God. I'm sorry. I haven't even watched the video. I could not watch it. I couldn't.
Yeah. Footage shows New York officers beating prisoner before death. Newly released body cam footage shows New York corrections officers beating a handcuffed inmate who died the following morning. The inmate, 43-year-old Robert Brooks, may rest in peace, power Ashe, was pronounced dead on December 10th, the day after the incident took place at the Mercy Correctional Facility in upstate New York. Following an internal review, New York Governor Kathy Hochul ordered the firing of the 13 officers and a prison nurse who were involved in the assault. The Office of New York Attorney General Letitia James has opened an investigation into Brooks' death, and the union that represents state prison workers called the video incomprehensible.
I saw someone on Facebook said they arrested Diddy, but they fired these people. I mean, they should already be locked up. You know, this is just hands behind your back. Where was the threat? What did he do? You know?
Yeah, I haven't watched either.
It.
I'm going through some bookmarks. I see I bookmarked it, but I can't watch it. But I've listened to people, commentary on it, and it just sounds like it's totally unjustified. Yeah, just murder, cold-blooded
murder,
beat somebody to death.
I mean, certainly 12 people can't say they feared for their lives. Right, but like they say, we be letting all these people off of these injustices and these murders, and it just
right. Where are they going to end up next?
You know what I'm saying? Someone I've read even said they take it back to Trayvon Martin. You know what I'm saying? We let these people off.
Right. Rest in peace,
brother. I don't think New York has enough money to pay this family for this injustice.
Nope.
No.
But they're definitely gonna get justice regardless.
They have got to. This is.
Yeah, it was sad. I only saw, when I say a snippet, because I was doing research on this, and I didn't want to watch it, but for some reason it popped up, and what I did see was, as they said, incomprehensible. Like I just couldn't believe my eyes when I saw that. I was just like, there is no way.
There's no way
people are going to get away with this. I mean, they need to be deep underneath the jail.
Yeah. I mean, and we say that all the time, but it just keeps happening. This is just like, and then they wonder why they don't have money for reparations, but they have to pay these lawsuits.
Right. Have the assailants spoken out, given any rhyme or reason to? No.
I think the last 2 days I haven't been on. I just. I mean, what could they say? The man got his hands behind his back. Where's the threat?
Well, then why aren't they in jail, like you said?
Right. Why aren't they in jail? Why they got fired? No, you need to already be. We need to be seeing your mugshot.
Yep.
Right. And I mean,
Yeah.
this picture's a little small, but it looks like some deportations might be in order too.
Oh God.
Biden commutes about 1,500 sentences and pardons 39 people convicted of non-violent crimes in historic single-day act of clemency. President Joe Biden is commuting the sentences of roughly 1,500 people who were released from prison and placed on home confinement during the coronavirus pandemic, and is pardoning 39 Americans convicted of nonviolent crimes. It's the largest single-day act of clemency in modern history. The communications announced Thursday are for people who have served out home confinement sentences for at least 1 year after they were released. Prisons were uniquely bad for spreading the virus, and some inmates were released in part to stop the spread. At one point, 1 in 5 prisoners had the virus, according to a tally kept by the Associated Press. The clemency follows a broad pardon for his son Hunter, who was prosecuted for gun and tax crimes. Biden is under pressure from advocacy groups to pardon broad swaths of people, including those on federal death row, before the Trump administration takes over in January. He's also weighing whether to issue preemptive pardons to those who investigated Trump's effort to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election and are facing possible retribution when he takes office.
Mhm. Mm. And I wonder, I would have to look into it, but the BMF members, the Black Mafia family, the one brother, Terry, Biden did uh, release him during the COVID crisis. They were a drug family out of, I want to say New York, Detroit, maybe.
Yeah, I think they were Detroit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But the other brother's still in. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I wonder, is he part of that? Mm-hmm.
All right, some more Biden news. Biden announces nearly $2.5 billion. That's $1 billion, billion. More in military aid for Ukraine. President Joe Biden said Monday that the United States will send nearly $2.5 billion, that's with a B, more in weapons to Ukraine as his administration works quickly to spend all the money it has available to keep Kiev fight of Russia before President-elect Donald Trump takes office. I'm just going to quickly interject. You notice this, like, Biden is doing all this stuff like right before he's getting out of office. It's like, okay, I think all presidents kind of do this anyway, but
I was going to say that's kind of typical of what they do.
yeah. The package,
did you question what were they doing the 2.5 years
I know.
before?
Yeah, all this time, all of a sudden, you're just throwing everything on the plate now, right?
Lame duck. I can't wait until I don't have to hear any more Biden news.
Kim, tell us how you really feel. All right, the package includes $1.25 billion in presidential drawdown authority, which allows the military to pull existing stock from its shelves and gets weapons to the battlefield faster. It also has $1.22 billion in longer-term weapons packages to be put on contract through the separate Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative, or USAI. Biden said all longer-term USAI funds have now been spent and that he seeks to fully use all the remaining drawn down money before leaving office.
Wow.
I need my check. This is ridiculous. And then that report about the increase of homelessness, it's ridiculous. Sad.
Yeah, we're about to get on some homelessness.
Oh, okay.
So we have some more Joe Biden news. The United States announces more than $1 billion, that's with a B, in humanitarian assistance to address food insecurity and other needs in Africa. Today, President Joseph R. Biden, this was, looks like this article or this press release was of December 3rd of this year, 2024. announced that the United States is providing more than $1 billion in additional humanitarian assistance to address food insecurity and other urgent needs of refugees, internally displaced persons, and affected communities in 31 African countries. This funding, announced during President Biden's visit to Angola, includes nearly $823 million through USAID, of which more than $202 million is from the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Commodity Credit Corporation, and nearly $186 million through the U.S. Department of State.
He said he's spending every dime before he gets out of office. I mean, he already just told you.
U.S. Department of Agriculture. I know a lot of black farmers need that money.
Right, exactly. Humanitarian assistance needs to begin at home.
You know, and it's really sad. They have certain areas now in Fairfield Zone where these homeless encampments are popping up. It's just getting devastating here. Yeah.
Yep. Speaking of unfortunate situations, hundreds living without heat for weeks are forced to wear coats, hats, and blankets inside to stay warm with no fixed date. Hundreds of tenants are being forced to face the bitter winter cold without heating due to a maintenance issue at their apartment complex. The residents of Chelsea Wood condominiums in Greenbelt, Maryland, have been layered up in their homes without heat since early December. But despite their numerous complaints to management, the residents will brave the frigid temperatures for several more weeks. The tenants said management informed them that a broken pipe was causing the heating issue. RCN management also informed the tenants that they will no longer manage the complex after December 31st. Oh my God. A new company will take over, right? The Chelsea condominiums did not immediately respond to a request for comment from the U.S. Sun. Thompson said she did not want to abandon her home because of the problems management should fix. Quote, "My thing is I own this. I don't feel that I have a right to leave because what people are not doing. It doesn't make sense," she told WUSA. So for those who do have heat in this winter, just be fortunate and blessed that you do. Black student stabbed previously faced racist attacks at schools. Lawyers for a black teenager stabbed outside of a Los Angeles high school claim administrators could have prevented the attack had they taken action against past racist incidents, CBS News reports. A 14-year-old black teenager was among two students wounded in a stabbing outside of Verdugo Hills High School on December 9th. According to one of his attorneys, Brad Gage, the teen was chased down by a group of boys, one of whom was wielding a butcher knife. Before the stabbing. Gage described the attack as racially motivated, noting that the other boys are Latino, and his client, quote, became terrorized almost immediately when he started high school here, end quote. Following the stabbing, the 14-year-old student was detained and put in handcuffs on suspicion of assault with a deadly weapon. The boy's lawyer said he's innocent and acted in self-defense. He should never have had to go through this, Gage said. Prior to the December stabbing, attorneys said the teen was attacked in the boys' bathroom in August. The teen was allegedly physically assaulted and called racial slurs. The school could have prevented the December incident had administrators taken disciplinary action following the alleged August assault, according to Gage.
So the black boy gets put in handcuffs.
I don't hear about the punishment for the assailant.
Yeah.
The Latino assailant. What happened?
Nothing.
Yeah, I don't know yet, but I guess we'll follow up with that story later.
I hear with nothing in front of me to read from, but I hear that a lot of that is going on down in the LA area.
Yep. Now let's move up to Detroit. Detroit gas station shuts down after shooting incident involving clerk alleged shoplifter.
Mm.
The Detroit gas station has been shut down while police investigate one of the employees connected to a shooting that led to a man's death.
Mm.
Police say on December 11th, an employee at the mobile gas station on the corner of McNichols Road near the Lodge Freeway accused a man of shoplifting. That clerk pulled out a gun, the man ran off, and that's when police say the employee fired shots. A notice now hangs on the door stating the gas station's business license is suspended while police investigate. Detroit police call the most recent incident reprehensible. Those actions put this community in danger. It's not okay. It's not acceptable. No business in the city of Detroit will be allowed to operate and do what is done here, said Deputy Police Chief Franklin Hayes. Meanwhile, those living nearby demand accountability and say this business should never be allowed to reopen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think, for those who are in the community, especially if they are freedmen, should actually be occupying that store and opening it up there.
Accuse a man of shoplifting. Okay.
And he got killed.
Call the police.
All right. So, Elon Musk. We got a couple stories on this dude. Musk says hateful, unrepentant racist, the whole irony there, must be removed from Republican Party as visa feud deepens. Elon Musk has declared that, quote, hateful, unrepentant racist should be removed from the Republican Party, quote, root and stem, end quote, as the in-party feud over H-1B visas intensifies. Conversations around H-1B visas have divided Donald Trump's party, with his Department of Government Efficiency heads Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy on one side and other allies like Laura Loomer on the other. The SpaceX founder escalated the feud on Friday night when he called for some, quote, contemptible fools, end quote, in the GOP to be removed. Musk made the statement in response to a post on X by Nara Tanden, President Joe Biden's director of the U.S. Domestic Policy Council, quote, I am an Indian American who was born here, and it's crystal clear that the Democratic Party sees me as American, and a large part of the base of the Republican Party does not. I hope Indian Americans remember this moment at the next election. They don't see you as one of them, and never will, end quote, she wrote. Quote, you thought they just hated other immigrants, but it turns out there's no exception for you, as many of us have been telling you, end quote. Tandem continued. The ex-owner agreed, writing, yes, and those contemptible fools must be removed from the Republican Party, root and stem. Musk clarified in a follow-up post that when he said contemptible fools, he was referring to those in the Republican Party who are hateful, unrepentant racists. He added, they will absolutely be the downfall of the Republican Party if they are not removed. Trump's, quote, best buddy, end quote, took the dispute to the next level. He and Ramaswamy have defended the need for immigrant workers in the tech industry, while Laura Loomer has slammed the visa program and instead touted the, quote, American first, end quote, agenda. Donald Trump promised to remove the H-1B visa program, and I support his policy, she wrote on X on Thursday. She also accused Musk of removing her blue check mark on X, the social platform he owns. The tech billionaire condemned racists despite promoting other anti-immigration and racist ideology. Last year, he defended Adams after the Dilbert created described Black Americans as a, quote, hate group, end quote, and urged white Americans to, quote, get the hell away from them. Away from, quote, them. All right.
Okay,
That's
so
enough.
now the Republicans are racist. They're all racist. I mean, but I just think, this racism is just being overused for all these other groups. We know racism comes down to our issues, and now they're just throwing it around like they're throwing around reparations and
Seeing what sticks, huh?
seeing what sticks.
Tesla settles some more Elon Musk news. Tesla settles with black worker who won 2 trials over racist discrimination. Tesla has settled a racial discrimination lawsuit in which a federal jury previously awarded $3.2 million in damages to Owen Diaz, a black man who worked as an elevator operator there in 2015. Diaz's attorneys with the California Civil Rights Law Group said the parties have reached an amicable resolution of their disputes. The terms of the settlement are confidential and we will not have additional comment. So that's funny. In one breath, he's saying one thing, and another, his company's getting
Now it's
sued.
got to settle for being,
For being racist against black people. Real racism. Now we're talking about real racism here.
The forked tongue effect. All right. So let's see here. Trying to see this title here. Okay. Tesla replaced laid off U.S. workers with foreign workers using H-1B visas that Musk want to increase. Over the last few days, several current and former Tesla workers reached out to Electric, which is the publication that put this out, to reveal that Tesla ramped up its use of H-1B visas to replace U.S. workers it let go during a wave of layoffs earlier this year. Electric reported that roughly U.S. 15,000 employees were let go at Tesla around April 2024. Every department was affected, but the layoffs were concentrated in Texas and California, where Tesla has more workers than anywhere else. Current and former Tesla employees said that many of the laid off U.S. workers were replaced by foreign workers using H-1B visas. These claims are backed by U.S. Department of Labor data, which show that Tesla requested over 2,000 H-1B visas during the time it was laying off U.S. workers. There's a cap of 65,000 visas for the entire U.S. annually, and Tesla alone tried to get over 3% of them. Tesla workers said that many employees let go were more senior engineers with higher compensation, and they have been replaced with junior engineers from foreign countries at a lower pay. Here's a X. What do they call them? What do they call them? Twitter X? X space X now? X post? I don't know whatever. The reason I'm in America, along with so many critical people who built SpaceX, Tesla, and hundreds of other companies that made America strong, is because of H-1B. Take a big step back and F yourself in the face. I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend. So let's see. What did he say again? He said, the reason I'm in America, along with so many critical people who built SpaceX, Tesla, and hundreds of other companies that made America strong, is because of enslavement, really, in this country. But anyway, that's what he really should have said.
That's Elon talking.
And he's telling someone to F themselves in the face.
F yourself in the face, though.
In the face. In the face. Oh, I would go to war over this issue.
He said, in your face.
Well, I mean, the good side, if there is one to be found in this situation, is that people are, now paying attention and they're learning how to search these H-1B databases and seeing exactly what types of jobs they're recruiting for. And I think, before people just you heard of this H-1B, but you really didn't understand the impact. So people are becoming more educated on the issue.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm.
So here's a ex post from Vivek Ramaswamy, I guess Elon Musk's best buddy. The reason top tech companies often hire foreign born and first generation engineers over, quote, Native Americans isn't because of an innate American IQ deficit, a lazy and wrong explanation. A key part of it comes down to the C word, culture. Tough questions demand tough answers, and if we're really serious about fixing the problem, we have to confront the truth. Now, what is that truth, Vivek Ramaswamy?
Hmm.
Our American culture has venerated mediocrity over excellence for way too long, at least since the 90s and likely longer. That doesn't start in college, it starts young. A culture that celebrates the prom queen over the math Olympiad champ or the jock over the valedictorian will not produce the best engineers. A culture that venerates Corey from Boy Meets World or Zach and Slater over Screech in Saved by the Bell or Stefan over Steve Urkel in Family Matters
Oh
will
no, we
not.
did not go there.
Well, he
We didn't
did.
go there.
Over Steve Urkel in Family Matters
Mm.
will not produce the best engineers.
Mm-mm.
Fact. This is according to Vivek Ramaswamy. I know multiple sets of immigrant parents in the 90s who actively limited how much their kids could watch those TV shows precisely because they promoted mediocrity. And their kids went on to become wildly
Mm.
successful STEM graduates. More movies like Whiplash, fewer reruns of Friends, more math tutoring, fewer sleepovers, more weekend science competitions, fewer Saturday morning cartoons, more books, less TV, more creating, less chilling, in quotes, more extracurriculars, less hanging out at the mall. Most normal American parents look skeptically at those kinds of parents. More normal American kids view such, quote, those kinds of kids, in quote, with scorn. If you grow up aspiring to normalcy, normalcy is what you will achieve. Now close
Mm.
your eyes and visualize which families you knew in the 90s or even now who raised their kids according to one model versus the other. Be brutally honest.
Mm.
Normalcy doesn't cut it in a hyper competitive global market for technical talent. And if we pretend like it does, we'll have our ASSES handed to us by China. This can be our Sputnik moment. We've awakened from slumber before, and we can do it again. Trump's election hopefully marks the beginning of a new golden era in America, but only if our culture fully wakes up. A culture that once again prioritizes achievement over normalcy, excellence over mediocrity, nerdiness over
Mm.
conformity, hard work over laziness. That's the work we have cut out for us. Rather than wallowing in victimhood and just wishing or legislating alternative hiring practices into existence, I'm confident we can do it.
Mm.
He says all this from America.
Mm.
Oh, why haven't they, made India great excellence? I mean, I don't
All
understand. It
right.
just does not, translate. I mean,
Mhm.
it's like slumlord millionaire over there, but
Speaking of
I mean,
movies,
this argument just makes no sense.
well, yeah, I mean, if
Mm.
we go back to the previous story, I mean, they literally fired U.S. Tesla, literally fired his top U.S.
Senior
senior
engineers, yeah.
engineer
Hmm.
and swapped them out from, according to that story, some,
Hmm.
foreign junior engineers.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
Ramaswamy talking about the stuff that he's talking about now.
Hmm.
We need this and we need that. And plus, what did we forget about Bill Cosby? I mean, what? Anyway.
I mean, but go build in India. I mean, if that's where all the geniuses are,
Stay
why
over
not
there.
go build
Well,
there?
it clearly is just the bottom line that they're looking at. You
Right,
firing senior
right.
employees, and I'm just going to be honest. Some of this I'm not totally disagreeing with. Um,
What, that
the-
Americans are stupid?
no. I'm not saying that. I want to say this as far as descendants and freemen are concerned. I think that you could have both. You could have the prom queen, and you could have also the math person. You can have both.
Right.
We don't have to just have no fun in our children's lives. It's ridiculous.
We need
You
to
know,
nurture and harness our own,
yes, and there
talents.
is a middle ground that our children, and I'm speaking of descendant children, freeman children, that we must go to because we know what has happened to our children in these schools. They can't compete, period. And they're not competing because of the basis of the color of their skin. At least the white kids can compete because they're white. You know what I'm saying? So, when we focus on our children, but why can't they go to the mall? I mean, no. But yeah, you
Yeah,
got
I
to do
mean,
it's ridiculous.
Right.
You
And watch
know,
Urkel.
Yeah,
I
why
mean,
not? And Stefan was cool. You know what I'm saying?
it was cool.
He was cool. But we liked Urkel too. You know, I'm just saying it. So his argument to me, what I'm basically is saying, although some of it has some value to it, it's weak. It's
And they're
weak.
talking about less chilling, less
Less
chilling. They
chilling.
have a whole Netflix and chill campaign in his sector. So that's what this tech is, encouraging people to do is chill
Yeah.
while
And,
they
and that,
take all the jobs.
yeah. Now I don't like the word. I don't like that he's using the word normacy. You know what I'm saying? This is the world we live in. I'm just saying. It's just you could have both.
Yeah, I mean, in
You could have
malls, I
both.
mean, that's almost as American as apple
Apple
pie.
pie.
Shoot.
I could tell a story when my daughter became a tweed at 12. She stopped wanting to hang out with her dad, which she spent every weekend over there with them, and he was all upset. I said, she not coming home to be with me. She want to hang out with the mall with them girls. You know what I'm saying? That's just what they do. But that doesn't mean that they can't function and do their schoolwork and get loaded. So if you talk about what our parents are doing, I'm not saying that we're not responsible. What we need to look at our school systems as well. You know, what are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
And then they disparage the American culture that they
Culture.
come over here and
Grab it.
gravitate to. I mean, if you want to try to make American culture your culture, that wherever third world country you came from, why not go back there? Our culture is different.
It's different. And then I saw some post, or was it on Facebook? Because I haven't been on X, but somebody said, they ask you to push these buttons when trying to get a representative for whatever, and push one for English, but then you don't get anyone that speaks English. You know what I'm saying? So, they are outsourcing these third world people, if I can say that. I mean, because it's their bottom line that they're interested in.
Exactly.
Not that they do so much work better. It's the bottom line. They are going to work for less and they're still sending remittance back to their country.
Yep.
So, I mean, come on. This is why we're losing. That money is not staying here.
Yep.
So, I mean,
And
that's
reparations
the case.
will. So
I was just ready to say.
That's why we
Another
got to get to
discussion,
that.
reparations. We're spending our money here because this
Right
is our
here.
country right here. I mean, come on.
Red, white, and blue.
We're almost
swarming.
done with this. Is going to be a long 4 years.
So the story continues. American man reveals Indian CEO took over a firm, booted out founders, and hired Indians.
See, I mean, come on.
The ongoing discourse surrounding Indian immigrants, particularly those in the technology sector within the United States, has intensified following a viral post by a U.S. attorney. This post, which has sparked heated debates across social media platforms, accused an Indian CEO of mismanaging a company, displacing its founders, and reshaping its leadership team predominantly with Indian executives.
Mm.
The attorney's posts detailed claims against the CEO, who allegedly took over a company acquired by a private equity firm. According to the allegations, the CEO ousted the company's original founders and replaced key leadership positions with a C-suite dominated by Indian professionals. Additionally, the attorney asserted that the CEO leveraged the pandemic as a pretext to implement a 10% temporary pay reduction for employees and halted all promotions.
Mm-hmm.
The post, since its publication, has amassed over 8 million views and sparked widespread discussions. Many users on X shared their personal experiences, alleging similar practices by Indian executives in high-ranking positions. These anecdotes highlighted concerns about biased hiring practices and job losses among American employees, further fueling the ongoing debate about immigration and workplace equity in the tech industry.
Hmm.
There's
Look at that
somebody.
picture. Look at that picture.
Oh
That
yeah,
says 1,000 words.
that's a lot of diversity there. Um, Lucky, who's on X, says, "My wife worked for a This is a post there. My wife worked for a company that was purchased by a private equity firm that immediately brought in an Indian CEO. He pushed out all the founders and replaced all the C. Okay, I guess that's what this article is based
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But
So
look
there
at
you
the
go.
picture. Look at the picture.
And if you want more information on that, go to economictimes.indiantimes.com and you can find more information on that.
Okay, so this is what the fourth or fifth story on this. The first story said that the Republicans are against this. I'm making a note. Making a note.
So let's see what Trump says about this. All right. So Trump says he is a believer in H-1B visas for skilled migrant workers as Wright spars on immigration report. President-elect Trump appeared to agree with Elon Musk in support of H-1B visas for skilled workers in the United States as the Wright spars on the ongoing immigration debate. I've always liked the visas. I have always been in favor of the visas. That's why we have them, Trump told the New York Post Saturday. Trump said that he recognizes the visas on his property, saying, I've been a believer in H1B. I have used it many times. It's a great program. Trump's comments come as the right clashes over immigration and the place of foreign workers in the U.S. labor market. Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, who have been tapped by Trump to lead his Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, argued earlier this week that American culture has not prioritized education enough, and therefore that foreign workers are needed for tech companies like Musk, SpaceX, and Tesla. Many tech companies have embraced the H-1B visa program, which allows U.S. companies to hire foreign workers in specialty occupations, but critics of the program say H-1B holders are often chosen over U.S. citizens for jobs. One such critic, Laura Loomer, set off a firestorm on X when criticizing Trump's selection of Sriram Krishnan, an Indian-American venture capitalist, to be an advisor on artificial intelligence policy. In a post, she said she was concerned that Krishnan, a U.S. citizen, would have an influence on the Trump administration's immigration policies. It's alarming to see the number of career leftists who are now being appointed to serve in Trump's admin when they share views that are in direct opposition to Trump's American First agenda, she wrote. She called the appointment, quote, deeply disturbing, end quote, and described Indian immigrants as third world invaders.
I guess she said third word too. I was like, oh, should I say that? Yeah, okay. But yeah,
I guess that's the Laura Loomer.
Yeah, I guess this is not going to go well with his constituents, his mass following. We'll have to wait and see once he becomes in office on January 20th what happens.
Yeah, if he's talking about American first, I mean, he's not starting
Mm,
off the good
no,
good start.
no, he's not. Mm-mm,
Mm-mm.
not at all. Hmm. Oh,
Pregnant women. You want to say something? No?
oh no, this article I saw this. Was just terrible. What happened? Hmm.
Horrible.
Hmm.
Pregnant woman stabbed 14 times in front of young daughter over bad pizza delivery tips.
Mm,
A pizza delivery driver in Florida is facing charges after deputies say she violently attacked a pregnant woman over dissatisfaction with the tip amount. According to a press release from the Osceola County Sheriff's Office, 22-year-old Brianna Alvelo of Kissimmee was arrested in connection to Monday's attack and is facing charges of attempted murder, kidnapping, home invasion, and aggravated assault. On Thursday, Fox 35 News obtained an arrest affidavit with more details about the attack and that Alvelo is now also facing a murder charge.
hmm.
Be careful who you hire.
Well, what did you say earlier, Kim? She looks like a candidate for deportation.
I mean, she needs to go to jail. So,
Yeah.
the victim died. It sounds like.
Oh, she did.
Didn't you say murder or facing a murder charge?
Yeah.
Murder?
Well, no, this is
Oh,
attempted murder.
attempted
So I
murder.
don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
Actually,
Mhm.
Okay. Well, it
Attempted.
says facing a murder charge.
No, faces charges
And-
of attempted murder, kidnapping, home invasion, aggravated assault.
yeah, attempted. So
Attempted.
no, she's deceased or not.
Hmm. I mean, because I think I was talking to Kim about it. I know a lot of people use DoorDashes, and I understand the gig jobs. But personally, because I live by myself, I'm not going there. You're not coming here. Mm-mm.
I mean, I'm reading this last line and it says Alvarero is now also facing a murder charge.
Yeah, so I guess
Maybe
attempted
she
murder
died.
is murder. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Anyways, horrible story all the way.
Horrible
around.
story. Hmm.
so more story on gig workers.
Mm.
IRS signals a coming crackdown on gig workers. In a sign that the Internal Revenue Service could be cracking down on gig workers, the agency has received authorization from a federal court to gather information from Just Answer LLC about any U.S. taxpayers who's received compensation through the platform. California Federal District Court Judge Dolly G. approved the agency's request for what is known as a John Doe summons, which seeks information about a group of individuals whom the government hasn't already identified by name or other means. The summons seeks information about people who received $5,000 or more for answering questions on the Just Answer platform in any 1 year from 2017 through to 2020. While the DOJ and IRS did not indicate that they were seeking John Doe summonses for other platforms, the press release did name check several other gig working platforms, including Airbnb, Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, and Etsy. In November, the IRS issued new guidance to gig work platforms, instructing them to report information to the agency about taxpayers who earned more than $5,000 in 2024, more than $2,500 in 2025, and more than $600 in 2026 and beyond. Previously, gig platforms only had to report information to the IRS for workers who earned more than $20,000 and completed at least 200 transactions. The new thresholds are designed to make it harder for gig workers to avoid paying taxes on their income. So, in Sacramento, California specifically, this isn't in the article, but this is another statistic. In Sacramento, California specifically, DoorDash and Uber drivers can expect to earn varying amounts, but a study reveals that the average net earnings for delivery drivers in California after accounting for expenses are around a whopping $5.93 per hour without tips and $13.62 with tips. In general, across the U.S., Uber and Lyft drivers have reported earning between $22 and $40 per hour after expenses. Yeah, and I put this in because I know, you know, some of us freedmen actually participate in these, you know, delivery apps. And it's like, okay, so now, you know, we just want to tax you some more
Mm,
on some money that, you know, ain't
not
making
enough to
that much
live
money
on.
anyway. Right.
No, I mean, are you living off of this? You know,
Outrageous.
Yes.
Governor Gavin Newsom can't account for $24 billion in money that was meant for homeless spending. Homelessness has gone up. You said we were getting to that. Are we getting to the homelessness? Ain't homeless with nothing's happened there. They can't account for $24 billion, but they're wondering about your little $5 Uber check. Is this what I'm
Right.
hearing?
No, the DoorDash. Is this saying that the DoorDash and Uber drivers can expect? So the Uber and Lyft make 22 to 40, but like the DoorDash people are at the $6 amount. You know,
Mm. But
6 to
still,
13 40.
either
It's more
way,
money.
yeah, even on the high end, $22 to
Yeah.
$40 is not $24 billion in
So they're
unaccounted.
saying after expenses, but the price of gas, although you know the last month it has gone down, but still,
Right, and the wear and
yeah,
tear on your
your
car, you're
car,
taking out the
you
liability.
know. Mm-mm.
A whopping $5.93.
Mm.
Oh, okay, some more retail stuff. Starbucks barista strike expands as workers demand pay raises. Starbucks barista strike is expanding to 5,000 workers at what organizers said was more than 300 stores in 45 states, just as the company's busy holiday stretch begins. Though this article was originally written December 24th. Though it still represents only about 3% of all U.S. Starbucks locations, it's an expansion of an action that began last week in 3 cities. Organized by the Service Employees International Union and Starbucks Workers United, the strike aims to draw attention to the allegations of unfair labor practices and stalled negotiations over a contract that would cover thousands of workers. The workers are seeking an immediate increase in Starbucks minimum hourly wage by as much as 64% and over 77% over the life of a 3-year contract. Starbucks said only around 170 Starbucks stores did not open as planned. It said 98% of its over 10,000 company-operated stores and nearly 200,000 employees continue to work as normal.
Chris,
The other Chris.
Kim, yeah, Kim, is your Starbucks that you like to go to? Was it affected by this?
I don't know. Kim's on her mute.
Yeah, I'm sure they were. My Starbucks that I like to go to was affected you know, with the wage increases out here in California. I did notice that my double cappuccino went up.
Double cap going up.
Going up.
Yeah, we got another story.
Well, Kim, if you would just stop buying that, then you could afford to buy your house.
I mean, the what they say, the gig workers make $5.93. That barely buys you a double cappuccino.
Okay,
These days.
you know this is.
Yeah, we got some interesting stories about housing insurance that's gone up too. So, you know, for those that own their homes, especially here in California, pay attention. But this story says Missouri introduces Donald Trump bill that makes it legal for people with felonies to run for office. A Republican state representative in Missouri has proposed legislation that would allow a person who pleaded guilty to or was convicted of a felony to serve in public office, and has named it after the president-elect who has a felony. The quote Donald J. Trump Election Qualification Act, end quote, introduced by State Representative Michael Davis, would repeal a 2015 Missouri law that prevents a person with a felony from becoming a candidate in a local or statewide election. It would allow a person with a felony record to run for office, quote, if otherwise qualified, end quote.
I mean, can they even vote? You know, let's see, Missouri. Do they even have the right to vote if you have a felony?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Mhm. I'm looking it up.
Yeah. I mean, but the mere fact that you know, all of a sudden this bill comes up when Donald Trump's been indicted.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's like, why
Mhm.
didn't this come up prior to Trump? There weren't any other people in this particular predicament to make it important to make
Hmm.
this legislation.
Because they have to move the goalpost according to, the agenda at the moment. I mean, let's stop acting like
Absolutely.
we don't know.
Hmm. Yes, in Missouri, they can vote after they've completed their probation and on parole. They can vote. So that's the next step.
Thank you for
Hmm.
that, Darlene.
Hmm. You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Hmm.
Federal judge rejects challenge to Naval Academy's use of race in admissions practices.
Mm.
A federal judge has rejected a challenge to the Naval Academy's use of race in its admissions practices, ruling that the school has, quote, established a compelling national security interest in, quote, in maintaining diversity within the U.S. military. While the ruling issued Friday by U.S. Senior District Judge Richard Bennett, a George W. Bush appointee, represents a significant blow to the legal effort to nix affirmative action policies at the Academy. It also makes clear that decisions on such matters begin and end with the executive branch, which will soon be controlled by a commander in chief who has shown hostility to such diversity efforts. President elect Donald Trump's pick to lead the Pentagon, Pete Hegseth, has criticized the military's diversity program, saying in a podcast, quote, woke SH star T has got to go, end quote.
Mm.
I mean, I would need to see the data on these affirmative action, acceptances. I need to see the data broken out by, each category. Because, I mean, affirmative action just as a blanket catchphrase, I mean,
Yeah, that could be anybody.
Mhm. Yeah.
exactly.
Hmm.
Data matters. Man
Hmm.
accused of, and this is a really sad story, a man accused of setting woman on fire in New York City subway faces multiple counts of murder. Sebastian Zapata Khalil, 33, is charged with murder and arson after allegedly setting a woman on fire inside a Brooklyn subway train. Despite DNA testing, authorities, well, okay, there is actually an update to this, but I'm going to read this anyway. Despite DNA testing, authorities have yet to identify the woman who was homeless. A vigil was held in her honor on Thursday. This story was as of December 27th. Zapata Khalil was reportedly deported in 2018 after entering the U.S. illegally and later re entered undetected.
Hmm.
ICE confirmed his unlawful status. Update as 12/31/24. The woman who was killed when a man intentionally set fire to her while she was sleeping on a New York City subway train earlier this month has been identified as Debrina Kawam. Police said the 57-year-old woman resided in New Jersey. The New York Police Department told CNN police initially said Kawam was 61. The New York City Office of the Medical Examiner determined the woman died by homicide caused by thermal injuries and smoke inhalation,
Hmm.
according to a complaint filed in Brooklyn Criminal Court. Yep,
Hmm. Hmm.
that's sad. I was gonna say speaking of sad, but anyway, let me
Hmm.
not be funny here. California Governor Gavin Newsom orders special election to fill vacant Senate Assembly seats. Governor Gavin Newsom has called a special election next spring to fill two legislative seats in Central and Southern California after Assemblymember Vince Fong and Senator Janet Nguyen. That's right, Kim? I always be jacking up. It's Nguyen, right?
Yes.
Okay. Whew. I'd be messing that
But
name
I
up.
always want to say new N. I want to put that N there, but the N is silent, Kim.
It's like win, right? Win
Yeah,
or
when.
win.
So the N is
Yeah,
silent.
that's my understanding.
Mm-hmm. New N.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's continue. Step down from their respective positions. The governor issued a special proclamation Wednesday ordering a special primary February 25th, 2025 election to elect successors for Senate District 36 and Assembly District 32. The general election will take place April 29th. The Assembly District represents Kern and Tulare counties, and the Senate District represents Orange County. Both Fong and Win are Republicans.
Hmm.
Interesting. Fong's
Mhm.
seat has been vacant since he resigned in May after winning a special congressional election to replace U.S. Representative Kevin McCarthy, a Bakersfield Republican who resigned after he was ousted as Speaker of the House last year. Dang, forgot about that. Fong won another 2-year term last month. An appeals court sided with him in April after Secretary of State Shirley Weber previously said he was ineligible to run for Congress when he tried to withdraw from seeking re-election to his assembly seat.
Hmm.
Wynn stepped down earlier this month after she won election to the Orange County Board of Supervisors to replace Andrew Doe, who resigned in October per a deal with federal prosecutors to plead. And that's the end of that story. So if you want more information on that, please look that up.
Hmm.
I remember Fawn. He voted
Mhm.
no on AB
It's
3121.
31. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We see you. All right. So earlier we talked about home coverage. So for insurers, so for those that own their home here in California, pay attention. California to require insurers to increase home coverage in wildfire-prone areas. Hundreds of thousands of California homeowners who have failed to find or lost access to home insurance as wildfires in the state become more destructive will once again be able to purchase policies under a state regulation announced Monday. The rule will require home insurers that write policies in the state to offer coverage in high-risk areas, something the state has never done. Insurance Commissioner Ricardo Laura's office said in a statement, insurers will have to start increasing their coverage by 5% every 2 years until they hit the equivalent of 85% of their market share. That means if an insurer writes 20 out of every 100 state policies, they need to write 17 in a high-risk area, Laura's office said. The requirement will take effect within 30 days. Major insurers like State Farm and Allstate have said they would stop writing new policies in California due to fears of massive losses from wildfires and other natural disasters. Quote, Californians deserve a reliable insurance market that doesn't retreat from communities most vulnerable to wildfires and climate change, end quote. Laura said in a statement, this is a historic moment for California, end quote. In some counties in California, non-renewal rates have increased more than 500,000, more than 500% since 2018. According to a New York Times report on a newly released congressional investigation, the Pro found that since 2018, more than 1.9 million home insurance contracts nationwide have been dropped. So yes, please, family, if you own a home, check your home insurance. Because if your rate goes up, you might want to do some research and inquiry.
Yeah, we just had a bad fire. Not what's that? What, a couple of years now?
Yep.
Weed.
Yep. Weed, California. Kevin De Leon, agent of Council of Chaos, quietly exits stage left by Felicia. Disgraced council member Kevin De Leon finally bows out 2 years after his racist scandal roiled the city. Newcomer Isabel Gerardo, who handily defeated him in November, takes the reins of Council District 14 today. Kevin DeLeon had managed to weather calls from practically everyone, including the sitting president of the United States, to resign after an audio recording of then Council President Nuri Martinez, then Council Member Gil Cedillo, then LA County Federation of Labor President Ron Herrera, and De Leon talking redistricting in racist, zero-sum terms surfaced in October of 2022. Taking advantage of the way Martinez's abhorrent remarks about a white colleague, that colleague's black taller Awakans, and the district attorney for being with the blacks, dominated headlines. He suggested he'd been another one of her victims, a bystander cowed into silence by her threatening aura. His only regret, he told ABC 7's Mark Brown at the time, was that he'd been too intimidated to speak up when Martinez insulted the Oaxacans.
Good. LA finally got him out of there. I mean, that's what you got to do. We know what we need to do in 2026, y'all.
Yep. Sacramento leaders passed resolutions on reparations and racial equality. Beacon of Light. Sacramento leaders approved 2 historic resolutions on Tuesday to continue the city's efforts towards reparations and racial equality. The council unanimously opposed both items despite controversy last month that led to a delay in the vote. Council member Maya Vang, along with community organizations and residents, had raised concerns of, quote, major changes, end quote, by city manager Howard Chan's office. At Tuesday's meeting, Chan pulled his revised version of the resolution. Quote, moving forward, our actions in these resolutions have to be different if we want to address inequities and protect Sacramento, end quote, Vang said. The first passed resolution centered around racial equality and the city's years-long efforts to acknowledge its history of systemic racism. Per the resolution, the city would implement several new initiatives, including an annual assessment report of the Diversity and Equity Department and advance the development of a racial equality or equity action plan by 2026.
It's curious that they focused on, they spoke of reparations in the headlines, but racial equality action plan. What happened?
Family,
Yeah,
don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. We're gonna be watching what they do out here in Sacramento, but they what does it say? They passed a resolution on reparations to
racial equality
to continue reparations work is what the resolution was. Continue the work. How about we start the work?
Yes, absolutely.
We've had one survey.
Yeah. And also, we have to let our community know the racial equity and reparations are 2 different things.
2 different things. So, like you said, they lumped them together, kind of force teaming the issues here. But we know reparations is a separate issue.
We're not falling for it.
No, don't fall for it, family.
Nope. Sacramento City Council votes against extending city manager's contract. Yes, the Sacramento City Council has decided not to extend the contract for current city manager Howard Chan. The council met on Tuesday with new Mayor Kevin McCarty to decide whether to extend Chan's contract another year. Chan takes home a $400,000 salary, one of the highest city manager salaries in the entire state. His contract expires at the end of December, and he requested an extension through December 31st, 2025.
I guess so.
He's trying to get all his money, right? The city raised Chan's salary to $400,000 in 2022. The state controller's office reports his total wages in 2023, which included a vacation payout.
Exactly.
$600,000. His total
Mhm.
wages after his first contract in 2017 were $272,000, 339 cents approximately.
So in this article, they didn't say when he first took on the position. I want to say it's been 7 years, and the city has become a total cesspool under his
Hmm.
leadership.
Hmm.
Definitely gone downhill for sure.
Howard Chan, cesspool.
Mhm.
Bye, Felicia.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Next, oh, I guess I'm supposed to be advancing here.
Hmm.
Texas counties reportedly sold unclaimed bodies without families' permission.
Hmm.
Representatives Jasmine Crockett and Mark Vesey seek answers. A
Hmm.
year-long NBC News investigation revealed a shocking practice by two Texan counties of leasing hundreds of deceased people's bodies for medical research without notifying their
Hmm.
families.
Hmm.
The reports prompted two members of Congress to demand answers from officials in their districts over what appears to be an illegal scheme to sell human bodies. The
Hmm.
spotlight has prompted reforms and finally brought some closure for families looking for their relatives. The
Hmm.
reporting highlighted the story of Victor Carl Honey, an Army veteran who died in 2022 at 58 after years of poor health and estrangement from his family. Honey's body was transferred from Baylor University Medical Center to the Dallas County Medical Examiner's Office to the UNT Health Science Center.
Hmm.
Attempts were made to contact some of his relatives, but his son, who shares his father's first and last names, wasn't contacted. Honey's body was dissected and parts
Hmm.
of it sold for hundreds of dollars individually to various companies and even the Army for medical research.
Hmm.
A portion of the millions of dollars UNT has brought in by selling cadavers. After Honey's family found out months later that he died after a chance encounter with a woman who once stayed with him in a homeless shelter, they discovered from NBC, which was able to track down his relatives despite government officials failing to do so, that his body had been used for medical research without
Hmm.
their knowledge.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, we know that this sounds all so familiar for our descendants.
Yep.
Same happening. Read America
The harm
part time.
continues.
Hmm.
Black conservative podcasters give former KKK leader David Duke N-word pass during interview.
Hmm.
Black conservative podcast duo the Hodge twins gave former Ku Klux Klan Grand Wizard David Duke an N-word pass during an interview on their show, the Twins podcast, this week. This actually was a bit ago, so actually it wasn't this week. So this was 20 days ago. So this was a couple weeks ago. Let's see. During a preview for the upcoming episode, the co-host asked Duke whether he had ever, quote, been a part of any lynchings, end quote, to which the former Ku Klux Klan leader replied, quote, oh, God, no, end quote. When I ran for office and I got elected to office 2 or 3 times, my slogan was equal rights for all, special privilege for none. And I said, unless we stop this immigration, it was going to be bad news for all the American people, blacks, whites, everybody else that's in the country, he said. It's not great replacement theory, it's great replacement fact. It's happened. Even blacks have been replaced. We used to be number 2 in this country. One of the co-hosts could be heard replying. Duke agreed. That's exactly right. Even blacks have been replaced. That's a really good point, end quote. At the end of the preview, the co-host announced, quote, we got a gift for you. You probably don't need it. It's the N-word pass, quote. Before handing Duke a card which read, quote, N-word pass, end quote, in all caps, Duke then held the card up to the camera and said, N-word pass. As the co-host laughed, Duke remarked, I won't need this pass because I never used the N-word. Now, are you telling me that I should start? Question mark. Thought that was kind of an interesting news
Are,
article along
are
all
those the
that.
filmmakers, the Hodge brothers?
I don't think so.
Oh, this the Hodge twins. Yeah,
Twins, yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
twins would be brothers, right?
Others, yes.
The
Mhm.
Hodge twins. I don't know.
We don't know who these clowns are.
No,
Yeah, I don't
it's the
know.
Kim. It's the Hodge twins, and then there's three brothers. They're not triplets, but I think they're Cartier or something. They're very conservative blacks. They're on the same line as the Hodge twins. So yes.
Mm.
Mhm. Oh God, couldn't resist it, huh?
Hey, it's in the
Mm,
news.
mm,
Beyonce infuriates NFL fans with banned hand gesture during halftime performance. Where is the flag? Question mark. All eyes were on the superstar 43 when she hit the field at NRG Stadium in Houston on Wednesday during a break in the NFL game where the home team Texans battled the Baltimore Ravens. Shining in a white bodysuit, chaps, and cowboy hat, Beyonce performed several hits from her Cowboy Carter album alongside Post Malone and I'm about to botch this, Shabadoozy.
mm,
But when she made a particular move, viewers at home lost their cool.
mm,
While wrapping up her set after singing Texas Hold'em, the singer was lifted above the field on a platform and made the finger gun gesture with her left hand. At the same time, a banner read "Bang" was released under the platform. The National Football League bans the gun gesture, which results in a 15-yard penalty for any offending player, per Daily Mail.
mm. Next,
Thank you.
yes.
Jay-Z, Beyonce's hubby, accused of sexually assaulting, drugging 13-year-old girl with Sean Diddy Combs in 2000. Jay-Z has been accused of sexually assaulting a teenage girl alongside Sean Diddy Combs in the early 2000s. In an amended lawsuit filed Sunday, an Alabama woman identified anonymously as Jane Doe claims a billionaire music mogul born Sean Carter and Combs drugged and ard her at an after party following the MTV Video Music Awards in September 2000. The woman brought a lawsuit against Combs in October for the alleged assault. Doe also alleges that another unnamed celebrity stood by and watched as Combs and Carter took turns assaulting her. NBC News was the first to report the news. Jay-Z, who was 30 at the time of the alleged assault and now is 55, vehemently denied the allegations against him. Uh, Jay-Z, Jay-Z's accuser comes forward to NBC News and acknowledges inconsistencies in her allegations. The woman told NBC News she came forward because, quote, you should always advocate for yourself, end quote. When asked about inconsistencies in her account, she added, I have made some mistakes, end quote.
Hmm.
So that's some of the news with Beyonce and Jay-Z. Speaking of other celebrities.
Oh Jesus! Not just these women. They just too much. Go ahead.
Lisa Ray doubles down on remarks about only dating rich men. I'm gonna continue to live the way I'm used to.
Mm.
Anyway. She also addressed the criticism she's received for her appearance on Carlos King's Reality with the Kings podcast, where she opened up about her preference for rich and powerful men. Quote, I don't know why people are so afraid to say what they always want to really know. Miss me with the small stuff. I've lived and I'm gonna continue to live the way I'm used to because I can and I do, she declared. You can't relate? Question mark. Don't. I'm very cool with life, she added. She added that she doesn't want to stress out a man who would need to spend his entire paycheck to afford places she's used to going for lunch meetings. You cannot hang with me. You are still wanting a vacation for the weekend. I vacation and go on holiday for the month. We are not going to be able to make this work. That's simple to me. Thank you, end quote. So I wanted to pull up some data. And let's read it. It says research from the Social Security Administration indicates that black men aged 20 to 59 earn substantially less than their white counterparts in the 2020-2021 period. For instance, the median earnings for black men in that age group were around 35,000 compared to 54,100 for white men.
Racial wealth gap.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but she was married to a prince or a king or somebody, wasn't it? And how did that work out for you?
Thank you. What's she talking about? She
What you talking about?
I mean, according to this data, the white men couldn't afford her either.
Okay. And she doesn't talk. She didn't even go to dinner. She just went to lunch. You know, so there, and she doesn't vacation for the weekends the whole month. Okay, do you, sis?
Do you? Good luck. I hope everything works out for you.
You?
I mean, if she like it, I love it.
Oh well, what? Oh no, this is sad. No.
I mean, where's the good news at? Let me see. Is there any good news in here?
There is. The last one.
The last one? Are we at the last yet? This is just too much.
That's hilarious. We almost there, family. We almost there.
Putting 2024 in the rear view mirror.
Absolutely. Homelessness jumped to a new record this year as housing costs soared. While Lisa Ray is talking about what she wants. Homelessness in the U.S. jumped 18.1% this year, hitting a record level, with the dramatic rise driven mostly by a lack of affordable housing, as well as devastating natural disasters and a surge of migrants in some regions of the country, federal officials said Friday. More than 770,000 people were counted as homeless in federally required tallies taken across the country during a single night in...
A single night.
A single night. In January 2024, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development said in its new report, the estimate likely undercounts the number of unhoused people, given that it doesn't include people staying with friends or family because they don't have a place of their own. That jump comes on top of 12% increase in 2023, which HUD blamed on soaring rents and the end of pandemic assistance. The 2023 increase also was driven by people experiencing homelessness for the first time. Vulnerable Americans have been hard hit during the post-pandemic years as many government supports ended, including the eviction moratorium. At the same time, housing costs are surging, causing a record number of renters to be cost burdened or paying more than 30% of their income on housing, according to the Harvard Joint Center for Housing Studies. The numbers overall represent 23 of every 10,000 people in the U.S., with Black people being overrepresented among the homeless population.
Reparations.
And Gavin Newsom don't know where the $24 billion went out here that was supposed to address homelessness. I mean, it seems like that could have helped a lot of people.
This is, I mean, that was the money. That was what the money was for,
right?
You know, but he can't find it.
Right. But he found himself a
$9 million
house for himself.
In Marin,
exactly.
You know. So let's stop. You know, just you got to go, Newsom, please.
So speaking of Department of Housing,
this wasn't a good one, was it? I'm just asking for a friend.
Well, I tell you what, everybody can make their own opinion after we read the story. Trump's pick took lead federal housing agency as opposed efforts to aid the poor. As Donald Trump's nominee to run the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, Scott Turner may soon oversee the nation's efforts to build affordable apartments, protect poor tenants, and aid the homeless. As a lawmaker in the Texas House of Representatives, Turner voted against those very initiatives. Turner supported a bill ensuring landlords could refuse apartments to applicants because they received federal housing assistance. He opposed a bill to expand affordable rental housing, He voted against funding public-private partnerships to support the homeless and against two bills that called merely to study, just
Mm.
to study, y'all, to study
And he
homelessness,
voted against it.
just to study
Oh my goodness.
among young people and veterans.
What is his name?
His
Scott
name is
Turner.
Scott
Scott Turner. Okay.
Turner.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for him.
That dude. KKK member Henry Alexander denied killing Willie Edwards until his final moments.
Mm.
In 1957, a group of 4 Ku Klux Klan members abducted Willie Edwards Jr., a truck driver, and forced him to leap from the Tyler Goodwin Bridge near Montgomery, Alabama. Edwards, merely 25 years old, had stopped during his delivery route to purchase refreshments when the men, brandishing firearms, forced him to leave his truck and enter their vehicle. The Klansmen accused Edwards of having, quote, offended a white woman, end quote, and subjected him to physical abuse during the drive to the bridge spanning the Alabama River. Upon reaching their intended location, they ordered Edwards to choose between jumping or being shot. Edwards plunged 125 feet to his death. In 1976, one of the men, Raymond Britt, admitted to the crime. Britt received immunity. However, justice remained elusive as none of the accused faced eviction, with charges dismissed on 2 separate occasions. Years later, Alexander's widow, Diane, revealed that her husband had eventually confessed to being among those who forced Edwards to jump. Diane disclosed that her husband not only participated in the killing, but had also falsely accused Edwards of the alleged offense against a white woman, which initiated the tragic sequence of events. Alexander confided in his wife, expressing regret, quote, I didn't think he would jump. If he would had a run, they would never have shot him, end quote. In his final moments, Alexander demonstrated remorse, stating, I had no business hating the blacks. They never done anything to me.
Okay. I just,
black-
I mean, just personally, these deathbed confessions and remorse, it moves me in no kind of way. No, you lived your whole life. Now you think you need to meet your maker.
Yeah.
No, it just not move me. Double V.
All right, another story. Henry Johnson's World War I heroism was recognized by France, but overlooked by his own country. Salute to you, Henry Johnson. Henry Johnson's early life is shrouded in mystery, even to himself. He believed he was born on July 15, 1892, in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, though this date remains unverified as he provided different birth dates on official documents. During his teenage years, he worked as a railway porter, handling goods and luggage. In mid-1917, Johnson joined the U.S. Army after learning that the 15th Infantry Regiment of the New York National Guard, an all-black unit, was seeking recruits. He and his comrades were sent to France, arriving in January 1918. For his efforts, the French awarded Henry Johnson the Croix de Guerre, one of their highest awards, before sending him back to the U.S. At the end of the First World War, the Harlem Hellfighters participated in a victory parade with Johnson up front. Still, they were not allowed to parade alongside the white troops. After such an ordeal, many soldiers would return home to a hero's welcome, which Johnson did to an extent. But it was a bittersweet achievement. Many publications quickly glossed over his race or avoided mentioning it at all. He gave his all and returned to a country celebrating his efforts while still regarding him as an inferior citizen. May you rest in peace. Salute to you, brother Henry Johnson.
Salute.
Salute.
All right, so we are actually ending this in a positive note, Kim.
Mm.
Civil rights icon James Meredith is honored in his Mississippi hometown. A new historical marker has been unveiled in the hometown of James Meredith, honoring the black man who fought white supremacy by integrating University of Mississippi in 1962. Meredith, 91, wore a red Ole Miss baseball hat as he watched Friday's ceremony from the front seat of a pickup truck owned by uh, Kosciuszko, Kosciuszko, a town of 6,800 that is also the birthplace of media mogul Oprah Winfrey. About 85 people attended, and many snapped selfies with Meredith and his wife, Judy, also Brooks Meredith. Quote, most important day of my life, end quote, Meredith said in a brief interview. Over half the people here are my relatives, he said, and for relatives to stand out in the cold like they did, that's something special. End quote. He was born in Kosciuszko and grew up on a nearby farm. He graduated from high school in St. Petersburg, Florida in 1951 and served for 9 years in the Air Force before returning to Mississippi.
So that's the good news. That we get some symbolism for him initiating integration. Is this what we're talking? I'm hearing correctly. Getting a little late.
Yes.
It is getting a little late. I'm
A little late. Mississippi in 1962.
I'm just trying to figure out if this is the good news we ending on.
Yeah, this is what we get. And I didn't want to say that. I said, well, I mean,
for integration.
You said it was good news, and Kim and I had actually already spoken about this. So, and I didn't have any kind words to say.
Well, I'll say it's better news. How about that?
Okay, congratulations, icon James.
At 91, I'm sure that made him feel good. So for that reason, okay. But
he integrated people into a burning building.
Burning building, family. All right, so before we end, there's some things that I definitely would like to address and inform the individuals who are watching live and who will be watching this on the replay before we sign out of here going into 2025. Dang, y'all, we got an hour left to go. Can you believe that one?
And wait a minute, if we do some after chatting, I mean,
we might actually.
I might not make it unless we after chat. I may not make it to. I mean, yes.
So, but it is.
First of all, I want to say thank you so much. You did an outstanding job with reading all these articles. You are just the best ever. So I appreciate so much, Umoya.
Gives a good snapshot of the news leading up to the end of the year here.
You inspire me to do better.
Mm-hmm.
And watch, now he's going to hold me to that.
I know, right?
And I will. Yes. But no, thank you. No, you did an excellent job. Pulled it all together, all the end of news with you. You read all of them, I just had some few choice words to say, but thank you so much for your time, your dedication, your hard work, your everything to us, everything.
Yes, thank you, Umoya. And we know it's not your fault this news is so horrendous. Hopefully we'll get some better news going into the new year, 2025.
Absolutely, especially when reparations are cut here in California. And hopefully somewhere else. I know New York has some stuff going on out there too. So, hey, you never know who's going to be the first up to the plate. I
want to put my avatar back in. Happy reparations 2025.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely. But it is actually New Year's, somewhere to somebody. Are we putting our different let's see if I can put my different avatar up before we break out of here. All right. Let's see. Do I have one?
You have plenty.
Yeah, I have one too.
This is your computer one, right? This is your computer avatar. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna have my computer avatar. Kim doing the dap. All right. Is that with the Dougie or something? I don't know what she doing now.
Tap. Cut to check. Well, I'm happy reparations 2025. You know.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. So actually, let's go on to some good news, some positive
Okay.
news. Let's go on to the next one, shall we? Bump
Mm.
with a bump. Thank you, family. We couldn't do this without everyone and y'all participation, regardless if it's quote unquote positive, which we do accept, or negative, right? We appreciate everybody and your comments and your your fervor in this fight
Mm.
that we continue here and
Mhm.
report on, because we
Mhm.
are community based and grassroots, and number one reparations media source, news, political, education, film, and community on the planet, in the universe. So thank you very much, everyone. We do really appreciate you. By the way, we're actually streaming this on Twitter, aka what's formerly known as Twitter, and X now. If you can, if you're on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe as usual. But if you're on Twitter, please tell everybody to come on over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button, family. We are currently close to 2,000. I think we're like almost 1,900 around here. So we need about 100. 100, y'all. Y'all, we
100,
can do
100,
this.
100.
100, 100, 100, 100 people to subscribe to get that 2,000, y'all. That 2,000. Now, that might not be huge to, some of these other, platforms out there, but for everybody that comes to our platform, we greatly appreciate you, because we know that you want that information and how we give it, and not too much on it, right? But we do appreciate
Yes.
you. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's a
Mhm.
huge deal to us.
Huge
Mhm.
deal. So yes, if you can, from the X space, come on over to YouTube and hit that bell, right, and subscribe. Get us up to 2,000 going into 2025, family, and it's free. It don't cost y'all nothing, right? And you get informed and updated. So let's go over some stuff. What happened over in 2024? But before we do that, actually, I didn't know we've been on here since 2020. Did you know that, Kim? For 4 years.
Since 2020, yeah.
Since
I mean,
2020.
yep. That tracks. That tracks.
Man, we've been putting in this work since 2020, family.
Mhm.
That's crazy. But we've made great progress, and we appreciate everyone. So, some current statistics. In 2024, we actually got more than 400 new subscribers.
Mm.
So hold on. Well, where's the hand clap? I got to get the hand clap. Do we have the hand clap in
Oh,
this
so
building?
400 in 2024 alone. Okay.
Yep.
Great,
Yep.
great
Okay, let
news.
me see where the hand clap. Okay.
Welcome, new
Mm.
subscribers.
Yes, appreciate y'all.
Mhm.
And by the way, I don't know, but we've been doing a lot of boots on the ground.
Mm.
And so I want to say, I don't know, can't confirm, but some of those new subscribers and a lot of our subscribers actually came out from us actually going out to the community,
Mm.
right? And
Mhm.
not just online,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So actually going out, being in with the community. So we just appreciate everybody. We're not just on here, right? I mean, even though we do appreciate and being on here and having a platform to give people information, but going out the community and people supporting us, man, this is huge. This is
Mhm.
huge. This is where people can communicate, about certain topics that are dealing with our community, and give their input and opinion and make an actual difference and
Mm.
change. All right. We also had 101.7 thousand views, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm. Mm. Mhm.
All right. 353 uploads. That means we was working. 4,000, close to 5,000 likes, 570 comments, and we appreciate every one of you.
Mm-hmm.
2,510 shares. Wow.
Hmm.
Y'all, shares. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for sharing this information, getting it out to the internet, the world. We greatly appreciate you. The top video viewed this year, this is a video, this isn't considered live stream, was Rolanda Williams at the Black Cowboys and Blues Festival that
Mm.
we attended. And we did vendor there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Darlene and
Mm-hmm.
Kim?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay, we did. Okay, that was a
we
question.
were
I couldn't
we
can't
were
remember. We did.
there. We
Okay.
were there. Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Rolanda. I think it was over 1,000 views on that one, I want to say.
Mm.
So, shout out to Rolanda. She's holding it down. So hopefully we'll be able to follow with her um in 2025 because she's actually doing really good work out here in the community of Northern California. So shout out to Rolanda Williams.
Wonder if the Black Cowboys will be back.
I'm sure they were. Wasn't this the second or third time in
Yeah, it was the first
second?
time I went though, but
The first
yeah,
time?
if
Yeah, I
they
think they
come
were there
back,
the year
I'll be
before.
back.
But wasn't it June, July, or something, or was it later
I
than
know
that?
it was after Juneteenth because
Yeah, it was
that's
after.
Yeah, it
where,
was after
yeah,
Juneteenth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, actually, people, if you haven't yet, go onto our ETN Media Group YouTube page, subscribe while you're there, and check out the content. I mean, I don't even know how many Black Cowboy festivals there are just in the country. I mean, maybe in Texas you might have some. Um, there might be one down in LA, but I don't even know if it's like a festival like this. So this is pretty groundbreaking.
Mm-hmm. A lot of it is that what is the rodeo? What is it? The Bill Pickett. So it's not
hmm
quite the same.
right.
Yeah. Hmm. So
But
this
this
was
is
more
actually a
a
parade, though.
vendor parade, a
Yeah,
parade and vendor. The Pickett isn't it
And
just a parade?
entertainment, yeah.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
entertainment. Absolutely. Yeah.
Didn't who was
Yeah.
there this year, Darlene? It was one of
It was
those.
well for me that I wanted to see was the revamping of the group. Main ingredients, which was the father of Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, Cuba Gooding Sr. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, and they were quite good. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm.
Shout out to Main Ingredient.
Hmm. And they had several other groups, but that was the one that I was particularly interested in.
Okay. All right. So our top short was Steve Harvey versus Cat Williams, part 2. I believe, if I recall correctly, not Steve Harvey, but yeah, Steve Harvey, talks about, slavery. Need to forget about slavery, and then Cat Williams cuts to Cat Williams, and he actually goes in and talk about reparations. So, that currently is one of our top shorts in 2024. And also, and shout out to Cat Williams, by the way. Talking about a truth teller and not giving a dang. Got to give a shout out to that brother. And he supports reparations. So, man, shout out to Cat Williams, man. May he, continue in his prosperity, man, in 2025. Let's see, what is this? Our top live stream. The SB 1331, SB 1403, and SB 1050 Assembly floor hearing. That was on August 28th, 31. And I think we do have like a picture or something of that. Oh, there he goes. Well, guess who those individuals are?
Yeah.
So Kim and Darlene, you guys want to tell the family about August 28th? A little bit before we wrap up.
Well, that was the day we were still the first day that those bills should have been brought up to the floor. As you can see, we have several folks that came up from LA to join us. Miss Raphael, Nita. We have our good friend Josiah in the back, not from LA, but good friend Tiffany from LA. So they did come up, and unfortunately, it was not brought up, and that just led us on to August 31st for the betrayal.
Right. So
And
this is the day 1050 was brought up, that eminent domain, and it passed. So we were still encouraged and hopeful at this time that the other two bills would be brought up, but did not happen.
But we're looking forward in 2025
yes,
for it to happen. All right. Let's see, what else do we have here?
Are we going to the next?
Yeah, let's go to the next. Okay. So, bump it a bump. We would like to thank Miss Lady 309. Shout out to Miss Lady 309. We be seeing you all the time in our chat, hitting it up. It's Audrey Walton, it's Queen Amina, and Root Trackers by Yara. So thank you for becoming members. And we encourage everybody to become a member. Yes, this is a paid membership as well. But for those 4 individuals that are currently paid membership, we thank you very much so for supporting what we're doing.
Yeah, thanks, members.
thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you. We appreciate everybody, coming through and supporting what we're doing, and moving into 2025. We're going to see bigger and better things. Let's see, what else do we have here? You know what? Do you guys want me to play those videos? Oh no. Okay. Before we get out, well, over here on West Coast, it's 11:15ish, or getting close to 11:15. So, I mean, goal is to get out before midnight. But hey, this is watch night, family. This is watch night. This is what our ancestors was about, right? This is watch night. So this is we got to give shout out to our ancestors. But I do want to play a video. I don't know, Kim or Darlene, if you feel like this is, at least for ETM, this is the video of the year. This is what we feel like is the video of the year. If y'all want to put in the comments that you guys think on our platform, you guys have another video of the year, you guys want to say the video of the year, you can leave it on the replay or not, or whatever. But I think for us, this is what we feel like is the video of the year. So let's play it. Let's go.
The cost of the harms make this minuscule based on the debt and harm that was created through slavery.
Economists, consultants from the task force reported the total amount could be as much as $800 billion. It is fundamentally unfair to force these people to pay for this, and because of that, I will be opposing today.
Yeah, I just want to thank our Republican colleagues for coming to committee today. After boycotting the previous committee, it's really important to go on the record and formally oppose reparations. So I want to thank them for doing so.
We were at every single moment of every single hearing. Task force did not, and the comments of the task force did not say that the state should pay $800 billion. The task force economists said that the state of California stole $800 billion in wealth from the descendants. That is what the state stole from us. Now it's up to this legislature to decide what the bill is, but your comments are incorrect.
Your comments are incorrect.
Correct.
That was Chris Lawson, the GOAT himself. And guess what? That, ladies and gentlemen, was the video clip of the year. Would y'all agree or no?
I agree.
I mean, good clip.
But
Chris, had the comeback. That was great. My only thing brought to my attention now, it's just what a crock of BS. Isaac Bryant.
I knew you were going there. But we're talking
about people opposing reparations when he actively blocked reparations. So, I mean, you just really can't believe a word coming out that guy's mouth.
But this clip was focusing on.
Well, he was in the clip. He was in the clip,
I
and this
know, but
this
that
was back when I was
we still had hope.
easily deceived. Yeah.
But fool me once. That's all we got to say.
Right.
So.
Well, speaking of Brian, let's go.
So this is Assemblyman Mr. Bryan. He's mad I brought up the reparations vote. So he's preventing me from speaking. And he's trying to block my access here. Why are you so upset?
You vote for 3 strikes. You put black folks in prisons, but
here
now
for
you
3
want to be a reparations person.
Well,
But you
we
won't
should
vote
have
for the bill.
We should.
I
we should
supported the
have a
bill all
conversation.
session.
Then bring the bill.
Will you vote for the bill, Mr.
Bring the
Simmons?
bill.
Will you vote for the bill?
Bring it up.
Will you vote for reparations?
Bring it
I
up.
would love it.
Bring it up.
Let's vote for reparations
Bring
together.
it up. Bring it up.
You in, Bill?
Bring it up.
I didn't think so.
Bring it up. I'll vote for it. Bring it up. I'll vote for it.
I mean, how is that? Kim, I need you because you got those words against him. But you are talking about him, but then you and the entire CLBC did not even bring the bills up.
Exactly. Always with
how?
the deflection. Always with
God.
the deflection.
I supported reparations all year round, but when it counted, you didn't. Yeah, I just, that clip right there just.
Yeah, so that was a clip for anybody who's unfamiliar from August 31st. August 31st will forever go down as a day of CLBC, that's California Legislative Black Caucus, betrayal in the month of Black August. So that is a Black August day in history. Unfortunately, it's a dark day, but it is a day in Black August history. August 31st, 2024. The day the CLBC blocked reparations.
Today. And then he's talking about, I supported it year round, then bring it up. Why didn't you bring it up?
Yep. Somebody should have brought it up. I mean, dang.
Well, Saley tried.
He did.
He did.
The CLBC betrayal.
So what's Isaac Bryan got for us this year? So far, AB 7, is it? The admissions
May
for descendants are descendants of slavery.
Which even saying descendants of slavery is kind of open-ended.
Right. So it's time for us to start paying attention to the legislation that's going to be coming out for 2025 and make sure all the language is correct and to make sure, that we get these priority bills, at least grassroots priority bills back in that should have got pushed through in the last legislative session. So.
Well, that's letting us know, dear family, that we will be back with the road to reparations.
We will be back. We will be back.
We will be back.
We will be back. So we have a couple more clips. And we just going to comment also on 831. Let's go.
Yeah, no reparation, no vote. If you don't give us no reparation, you ain't getting no vote. Y'all gave the legal. Y'all gave a free healthcare with no
Yep.
Unfortunately, she did get the votes and she's back in office. That's your district, Darlene, correct?
Yes, it is. That is then Chair Wilson of the CLBC. She was seated again. She ran against a Republican, Dennis Ennis, but he lost by 9%. So I hope she's shaking in her boots. Wasn't
it wasn't a landslide.
No. So
okay. All right, so let's woo. Okay, we're gonna play one more. Now I'm gonna play it, and then if you guys confirm if this was on the 31st, I thought it was on the 31st, but if y'all can confirm this as well, here we go.
I want them to pay.
What you mean you want them to pay?
But, I mean, they're acting like we don't have no power. They don't care. Are you guys letting people in yet? The thing's been going on for like 2 hours.
Yeah, so it's a pass only event over here on the assembly side.
Okay, well, how do we get a pass?
You gotta go to the second floor.
We've been to the second floor.
Oh, okay.
This is obstruction of justice, of the democratic process. Are you letting other people in? We're here, the other people are in.
Yeah.
My fourth day, and all of a sudden I can't get in.
Hey, it's pass only event. I don't know if you've been let in the rest of the time.
Okay, well, how do you have a pass-only event, but they're not handing out passes to get in? Or they're only handing out passes to certain people? Yeah, that was definitely on 8/31. Like you heard Darlene say, we had been up there for the full 4 days. The first day, they did require a pass, so everybody went down, got passes. We were admitted entry into the gallery, no problem. Did we have to get a pass the second day, Darlene?
No.
Nor the third day.
Yeah, nor the third. And if you recall, Kim, how I was saying, oh, you guys have really been great with us. You know, I said you guys should get Employee of the Week. I don't know if you remember me saying it to, especially to the woman worker that was standing back, and the Asian fellow was talking to us. And then the next day, you know, no pass, you're not getting in. And we were literally there. Well, Kim and I there at least 9:30, but that group that you saw on that first clip, I mean, we didn't get out of there till after midnight.
Yeah, that was a very long floor session.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was very long. You know,
yeah, I mean, but you know,
God.
staffers that were there that I was talking to about it, they said that what happened to us on 8/31 was pretty much unheard of.
Yes.
They'd never seen anything like it. being denied entry into the gallery in that way. So yeah, definitely.
And then they tried to liken us
obstruction
to.
going on.
They tried to liken us to what happened, I don't know, a month or so ago with the Palestinian people folks that showed up, but no.
Right, and that don't got nothing to do with us. So I mean,
we are there, and there was a public forum said, you know, so that means public. That means we need to go in. And then we didn't take a picture of this, Shumori, but Kim and I are saying, I don't know why we did. The first day, when you saw that first picture with the standing outside in the hallway, we were basically sitting in a section that looked right down into the galaxy. So gallery rather. But the second day, they had taken all those seats away.
Yeah, they took out half of the seats in there, and you know, staffers that we've spoken with said that that's also unheard of, especially with, you know, they were going on break the next week. Why not just because they claimed that the seats needed to be refurbished, so they took out half of the seating. Yeah, so they totally were obstructing our entry into the gallery. I mean, and it's just further political disenfranchisement as far as I'm concerned. I mean, we do not even get to participate in the democratic process. So.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. You know, that your rights were obstructed.
Yes, I mean, I still feel that there needs to be some repercussions. I mean, so this can be avoided in the future. Someone should be penalized
for it. And I made a joke, you know, because I'm traveling an hour both ways there and back. I mean, you know, I need to send somebody my gas bill. You know, did not miss a committee meeting except one. I had a doctor's appointment. all the hearings, all the votes, everything, and then I get treated like this. And then
Well, I'm
I,
sorry, go
Brian,
ahead.
I supported the bills all year, but you blocked it on the day that mattered. What is having a
Yep.
problem?
Well, one interesting thing. It's not funny, but like, oh boy, I don't know, security guard or whoever it is, man, Darlene, you and Kim were just like left righting him. You know what
Oh
I mean
yeah,
with your
yeah,
words, and he was just
yeah.
like, I don't know, what am I going on? Who
Which
am I
one?
talking to?
Who
I'm
else?
trying to
Yeah,
figure out.
yeah.
That man has seen us all week.
All week.
Kim was looking at both y'all like, who do I answer first? Like, what's going on here? Y'all was just double teaming the dude, so that was kind of interesting.
And another reference to that clip you showed you, Moria, Assemblyman Saley, when all this happened, he used that particular footage on his post on X. I mean, it just kind of went all over the place. I don't know if it went viral. I won't say that, but every time he spoke about it, he showed that clip.
Yeah, that clip is gonna go down in it's already in history.
Yeah.
It's cemented in history. So I definitely want to thank you, Kim, and you, Darlene. Man, I love y'all to life. Just for putting in your work. And this is real work, man. We're real people, doing this. We're not some random people out here. Just no, we are real people doing this for our community. And and getting paid a lot of money, not
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 I do
doing
it for
this.
love because I love my people.
Absolutely.
We deserve it, and I won't stop.
Absolutely,
They
man.
picked the wrong group here.
So speaking of that, before we wrap up, we definitely want to remind people that didn't see the awards. Wasn't an award show, but it's more of appreciation. I think maybe this year, I should say, well, actually this year, another half an hour for us West Coast. If the universe willing, that we actually have a physical award show this year. If everything turns out the way that it will, if we get enough money coming into what we're doing, that we actually have a physical awards show, which I think would be really cool, an advocacy awards show. So
Advocacy awards.
Oh, that would be nice.
I think that would be cool. But in the interim, let's play for those who did receive the award. We got a little clip, so let's play it.
That was so special. I mean, you should have made one for yourself, though. I mean,
hey man, without y'all, there wouldn't be no me.
Yeah, but without you, there would be no me. So,
well, it's all good, family. This is what we do, Just wanted to appreciate all the work that everyone is doing, and hopefully we can expand it next year. We know that there's other volunteers coming into the fold with CJEC, so we might be expanding the categories. You never know. I mean, you might actually get one next year. So definitely want to recognize those who just been putting in the work, because we need that recognition. Nobody else is going to recognize this. So definitely well deserved, well earned, and everybody's, including the ones who are watching us definitely you deserve all the accolades as well, because you could be doing something else, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, you want to stay informed and up to date, so we definitely appreciate you.
Yeah.
So
And I like to share a story, you more. I've mentioned it to Kim. My daughter came up for Thanksgiving, and I have my office here in my second room. And she says, Mom, why didn't you tell me about your advocacy award? She said, these are the type of things you're supposed to let me know. I was kind of so, okay. You know, I was really pleased that she noticed it and, you know, got on me for not, you know, letting her know that I had won this award. I mean, because she knows what I'm doing as well. You know, you're supposed to let me know these things. And so she was very appreciative of it as well.
all right. So family, that is the wrap up. Hey Kim, do you mind putting up the last slide, please? Cut. That too. You got the last slide. Oh, that was hilarious. Yes, that is actually what we're going to be playing soon and going out with. But and cutting the check. Yeah, so we definitely want to cut the check out, but yeah, cut the check. So just to kind of wrap it up, I just want to once again thank everyone. It's been actually a wonderful 2024, despite, you know, what happened August 31st, 2024. I mean, this is the closest we've ever been to reparations, and who would have thought, you know, from 2020 when AB 3121 came into existence all the way up to now, you know, that we'd actually be having even the reparations conversation, let alone reparations legislation. I mean, that is huge. So I just want to then, you know, pass it off to you, Darlene and Kim, if you guys want to say a few words before we wrap it up for 2024.
Yes, thank you, Yamori. I agree with what you just said. It's been a tremendous year, 2024. We did have a setback, but that's all that was. We are coming back stronger, and we are winning in 2025. We will not stop until we win and receive reparations for descendants of U.S. chattel slavery and who were emancipated here in the United States. That is our goal. We will not stop.
Definitely moving forward. Yes, the CLBC betrayal was a major setback. But, you know, listening to, you know, some of these spaces, community spaces, people are like, you know, Callie, y'all shouldn't take this as a L at all. This is a W because you are getting the conversation and narrative about reparations and legislation. I mean, of course, you know, it really stabbed me in the back with the CLBC, but you know, keeping optimistic, moving forward, just know to move accordingly to now that we know what we're dealing with.
Our eyes are wide open.
Yes.
Eyes are wide open.
Yeah, and I will also like to say and encourage for those who are listening on the live and for the replay, for wherever we're broadcasting or streaming to, you know, to get involved in your state legislation, your local legislation, and also the national conversation, right? I mean, we're doing it out here in California, and New York is stepping up as well. But wherever you're at, you know, you have the capability to do it as well. There's nothing saying that you can't do it, right? If you look at, you know, AB 3121 just as an example, and see if you can replicate it in your state, and maybe you don't even need a you know, a task force or a commission to study. Maybe, you know, the 1,100 page report, you know, can suffice. But it was definitely worth it. I'm glad we went through that exercise. But right now, you know, it's time to implement some of those policies, not only here in California, but across every state.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely get involved at your state and local levels. We've got our eyes also here in Sacramento. You see, when they just released the resolution committing to continue reparations work. So we have to hold them accountable on that, especially since our new mayor is former CLBC member Kevin McCarty. So yeah, we're going to hold him accountable. He knows exactly what reparations is. He knows exactly what we're trying to do here in the state of California as far as reparations is concerned. So definitely hold your local officials accountable.
And like Chris always like to say, we're just regular Black folk, you know. And I think, and especially for me, because I came a year after CJEC was established, and to realize that even when I came in at my point in time in my life, that I actually do have power. You know, and I think that's what we don't realize that we do. We do have this power. Yes, it's better collectively, but you know, it does start when you recognize it and then embrace yourself and find like-minded folk. You know, and that's what I did. And I know God put me where I'm right now, where I'm supposed to be.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. Well, once again, Darlene, Kim, it's been quite a ride. 2024.
Yes, 2024.
And when I wake up 2025, I'm getting started.
Exactly.
Do it.
So I mean, the way that I look at, kind of look at this advocacy work is in terms of 2020 is when I really got started, which was a leap year. This is also a leap year. So even though it's been 4 years, it only seems like once. It only happens every 4 years. So we got to make the next 4 years count.
Interesting observation. Thanks for that. Yeah.
Okay, so good night, family, and thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you for joining as usual, and as always, everybody, please have a safe and wonderful New Year's Eve. Watch night, Freedom's Eve. Yes, watch night. So we are actually still carrying on in the tradition of our ancestors. All right. So we love everyone to light. Be safe. You gonna say something or no?
Peace, love, and reparations, and just happy New Year 2025. Here we come.
Happy reparations 2025.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. We are out with this wonderful video in homage to all the work that we've been doing and that everyone has been doing. Once again, we are out. Peace and lineage-based reparations.
Cut the check. The check. If you ain't up on political game, respectfully, sir, we ain't the same. We built this country, it wasn't in vain. Red, white, and blue is our claim to fame. I don't really care what you have to say. Facts over fiction is the motto replay. Muhammad Ali came up from the clay. Grassroots built up this USA. Now knowing your history, you'll get played. Equip yourself, cause we came to slay any opponent that's up in our way. Look at Malcolm X and his delivery. Any debate, he would make them pay. One round, eat them up like souffle. Boots on the ground from the past and today. Tradition must carry on every single day. Cut the check. Cut the check. You got no money, but you got it for Ukraine. Cut that check, but you call us insane. A lot of hateration when you wanna try to come up. We can't build if the folks always blowing up. Tulsa churches block our community. Anti-black, no peace or unity. Don't talk about race or politics. Take our vote, don't give us back. From the slave ships on the land that was stolen. So many have truths that make your mouth swollen. Tick top kinds of interests piling up. 6 quadrillion and counting is running up. The debt that you don't pay isn't compensation. No black tax without representation. The last time I checked, 40 acres were due. This is the red, the white, and the FU. Cut the check. Cut the check. Cut the check. Lineage all day, every day, any day. We don't play. Lineage all day, every day, any day. We don't play. Lineage all day, every day, any day. We don't play. Lineage all day, every day, any day. We don't play. It's all about lineage, lock and load. At what you heard, we stay on code. It's all about lineage, lock and load. At what you heard, we stay on code. It's all about lineage, lock and load. At what you heard, we stay on code. It's all about lineage, lock and load. At what you heard, we stay on code. People call you crazy when you stand over justice. If you have no heart, then you're not about justice. Put the mind to the pedal and the foot on the gas. Hit the overdrive, tower coming at last. Everybody wants to eat while my people stay hungry. Blood in the blood, slavery built this country. Came to this land by forced migration. Built this nation on blacks and plantations. You got nerve calling my people lazy. Free labor with interest, now you're gonna pay me. This ain't a moral problem, this is all about cash. 40 acres and a mule, stop hiding the stash. Karma hits you harder than a case of whiplash. Evidence is overwhelming, there is nowhere to dash. If you wanna run away, you'll be hitting the wall. Till you pay for reparations, you will steadily fall. Woo! Lineage all day, every day, any day. We don't play. Lineage all day, every day, any day. We don't play. Lineage all day, every day, any day. We don't play. Lineage all day, every day, any day. We don't play. It's all about lineage, lock and load. At what you heard, we stay on code. It's all about lineage, lock and load. At what you heard, we stay on code. It's all about lineage, lock and load. At what you heard, we stay on code. It's all about lineage, lock and load. At what you heard, we stay on code. We stay on code when I'm messing with you. We'll build this country red, white, and blue. If you don't like it, then you can kick rocks. As a collective, we're juggernauts. Light up the phoenix, start up the flame. Where's the money? You are to blame. Give me the cash, give me this land.
Yamar, can you send